All right, so we're going to take a bit of a pause here and take a look into the future. Where do these companies go 6 months from now? Where do they go a year from now? Where do they go 2 years from now? That's the question that most investors in this room are thinking. If I make an investment today, what is it going to look like in 2 years? Very excited to bring up an alum of DreamIt Ventures 2012. It goes throughout the presentation, but this is insanely addictive. So just be careful if you get onto their website. You're going to spend a lot of money. Welcome up, Til You Shop.
Thanks. Thank you. Hello, hello. Test, test. Are you hearing me? All right, good. I've never been described as a vision of the future before, so I have to live up to that. So my name is Rob Arbatier, and I'm the Chief Technical Officer of PeerActive, and our flagship product is Til You Shop. And we were in the DreamIt Philly class in 2012, so we had our demo day on this very stage about 2 years ago. And it's, I realize, a little bit unusual to have the Chief Technical Officer come up and give one of these presentations, but I want to explain to you why I jumped at the chance to do it. When they invited us to all be here, and all of my co-founders are here, there are 4 of us, I jumped at this opportunity because DreamIt has had a very significant, played a significant part in my life in the last few years, and I want to explain a little bit about that to you. So, despite the gray whiskers, you have to believe me when I say I'm not the oldest person ever to go through DreamIt. I'm close, but I wasn't quite the oldest ever. And for me, our time at DreamIt basically represented a rebirth in my career for me. I had already had a long career in the entertainment industry. Just to give you a little brief background, when I was 21 years old, quite a while ago, I took a leave of absence from Drexel University, which I'm still on, and I had the opportunity to meet Stevie Wonder, who was one of my musical idols as a kid. I'd studied classical piano from when I was 3, but I had a chance to meet Stevie. I'd always wanted to be a Motown baby. I love that music. So I ended up, long story short, I ended up meeting Stevie. I ended up creating the first music software for the blind for him, which a lot of other artists like Ray Charles used. That was in the mid-'80s, and then I ended up touring with Stevie, doing over 500 shows, working with lots of other artists. I ended up starting a production company, doing my own music for commercials and movie trailers and all this other stuff. Won a Grammy, a lot of other stuff going on. But by the time about 2012 rolled around, I was looking for something else exciting to do, and I didn't know what that was going to be. I sort of felt like in entertainment I'd done everything I could think of. And then these crazy guys brought the idea of Til You Shop to me, and they were looking for a technical guy, and I just thought it seemed like an incredibly cool idea and a cool challenge. We worked on it for a while, and then, another long story, we got accepted into the DreamIt program, and DreamIt basically turned us from a bunch of wacky guys with a clever idea into a real company that's doing real business now, and it's really exciting. I'll explain a little more as we go along here, but the most sterile way to describe Til You Shop is it's a real-time e-commerce technology that reacts and responds to live user behavior. Now, what this doesn't get across is it's really, really fun and engaging, and that's why we're doing so well with it. I'd like to explain to you where we were before DreamIt, what happened during DreamIt, and then what happened after DreamIt, because we thought we were totally unique, but as we've spoken to more and more companies who've been through the program, we realize our trajectory is actually a story that you can learn from some of our mistakes, but you can expect a trajectory like this yourself too if you do things right. So where were we before DreamIt? We did have a basic prototype of the software working. We'd been working on it for a while. We had a dispersed team. That's actually an understatement. 2 of our founders are from Sydney, Australia. I was born and raised in Philly, but was living in Los Angeles, and our COO was born and raised in Philly, but was living in New York. So we were extremely dispersed. And actually, the first night we ever met each other in person was the night before DreamIt started. So we'd been working together quite a while. We met at a Mexican restaurant in Philly here the night before DreamIt, just so we wouldn't be meeting for the first time at DreamIt. That seemed weird. And we went back to that restaurant last night, by the way, just completing the circle. It was cool. Okay, so before DreamIt, we also had no data, and as a result, no validation, as you can imagine. So what happened during DreamIt? The first thing that I noticed about DreamIt was the unbelievable number of connections they were going to be able to provide us with. And everybody always uses the term Rolodex, although I wonder if anyone in the current class has ever actually seen a Rolodex. But I used to have a Rolodex a long time ago. But the connections from DreamIt were unbelievable. They were able to get us into doors that we could never get through ourselves. They provided a huge amount of mentorship, not just from the mentor who was assigned to us, who was great, but just the other companies and the founders of DreamIt. It was amazing, the advice they were giving. And to me, that served as a business education that I'd never actually been able to get in school. It was an incredible education. Obviously, they gave us great advice, and the sense of community with the other companies was really great too. I've been asked numerous times, where would you guys be if it hadn't been for DreamIt? Because we've been working on this product for quite a while. And the answer is, I can tell you exactly where we'd be. Two of us would be in Sydney, I'd be in LA, our other guy would be in New York, and we'd be a little bit further along than we were, but nothing like where we are now. Okay, so what has happened since DreamIt? Well, for one thing, DreamIt taught us how to raise money and has invested in us several times along the way, and we're really appreciative of that. And a lot of our other investment has come from people and organizations that we've met through DreamIt. Continuing since we're in the DreamIt program, the mentorship and connections have never stopped. As soon as we feel like we know everybody we need to and we don't need anybody's help, we run into some brick wall where we say, oh, it'd be great if we could meet this one person. Normally, if we talk to the right people through DreamIt, we can get in that door. Now, that's what DreamIt has done for us as time has gone on. We've also tried to give back to DreamIt, and that's another reason I wanted to be up here speaking to you today. It's very important to me that we show DreamIt the appreciation for everything they've done for us, and there are real tangible ways that alumni companies can help DreamIt in return. One of them is I've been happy to do office hours for DreamIt classes in Philly, New York, and Austin. It's a great chance for alumni it's funny, you're a grizzled alumni. You've been through a program for 3 months, and all of a sudden you're the big expert. But it's nice to be able to talk to companies who are still going through it and let them learn from your experience. So I've been happy to do that. We hosted the Startups in the Wild event in our office in New York for the National Retail Foundation. That was a pretty cool event. And I've also spoken on a South by Southwest panel for Andrew and the New York office. That was a really cool panel to be on last year. So, getting a little bit to what we do, I promise I will show you a little bit of Til You Shop. A slightly more fun way to describe it than earlier is we help retailers sell goods faster, more profitably, and with a sense of adventure. What we have is a really engaging shopping game that people lose their mind over, and that's what keeps us going. So, a few quotes that people have said about what we do. We're the worst thing to happen to impulse shoppers since eBay. That's one of my favorite quotes, and it's true. Bloomberg said it's like an addictive video game, also true. TechCrunch said it's an adrenaline-fueled tizzy of competitiveness. These companies sometimes get a little bit carried away, but it's good. We appreciate it. I love this one from Price Plunge. It's like the Hunger Games of shopping, which is exactly what we set out to do. So this is all still part of the build-up, but imagine capturing the anticipation of Black Friday, the competitiveness of an eBay auction, the impulse of a home shopping TV channel, and the excitement of a casino. And what do you get? Do we have a drum roll, Dana? Slight, minor, okay. That's the best I'm gonna get, okay. What we have is Til You Shop. It's a very simple concept. There are 3 products for sale. The prices are falling continuously. You have no idea how low the prices are gonna go or what quantities are available for sale. You might get little messages like that running low message to tell you that something may be about to run out. But if you see a product at a price you like, you freeze the price and you buy it. You don't have to bid on anything. Oh, we missed out on that last deal. You don't have to bid on anything. You don't have to deal with points or any of that. It's just a store where the prices go down all the time, and you buy things if things reach a price you like. Now, I will say this is the front end of the store. If I could show you the back end of the store, there's a lot of intelligence behind this. There are intelligent algorithms that figure out what products to sell based on who's shopping, how fast the prices should drop, how low they should drop. There's a lot of intelligence, and we have a dashboard that has all these spinning dials and gauges and stuff to show you the sort of mad scientist stuff that goes on behind the scenes. But it's been described as the last few seconds of an eBay auction all the time. And it's a pretty good description. All right, so like many other companies that have been through DreamIt, one of our big concerns when we joined DreamIt was, are we B2B or are we B2C? And I know a lot of companies are facing that in the current class. A lot of companies face that in previous classes. And for us, we really believe we were viable as either, but we also realize you can't do both. I mean, you have limited resources. You have to pick one and go with it. Now, I won't say that we pivoted from B2B to B2C during DreamIt. I'd say it was more like a constant pirouette. It was like we would wake up every morning and say, what are we today? Okay, we're going to do B2C. No, B2B is the way to go. So the first sale that we actually promoted after being in DreamIt was a B2C sale. And the results were amazing. We did some mild promotion, just some PR, and the public went nuts. We got mentioned in Yahoo Finance. We had over 100,000 people visit within a day. The response was unbelievable. Hundreds of people per minute signing up on our email list. We got, I think, 50,000 signups during that day. It was an incredible validation that the public has a hunger for this. They thought it was fun and engaging. So that was very reassuring. But we also realized becoming a B2C company is extremely expensive, so we wanted to tread lightly. Then we got approached by Jewelry Television. For those of you not aware of Jewelry Television, they are one of the largest TV channel retailers in the country. They're in, I think, over 80 million homes. And they sell a lot of jewelry and loose gems and all kinds of stuff that I don't buy. But luckily, there are lots of people who do buy this stuff. And they approached us because they have a lot of clearance goods that they wanted to sell, and they also were trying to re-engage dormant customers, and they saw us as a potentially really engaging way to bring those dormant customers back. So we did a sale event with them, and the results were really amazing. I'll show you some of the results. So we ended up with a 40% margin on these clearance goods, which they would have let go at a much, much lower margin originally. So we got them great profit margins on these items. We sold through 83% of the inventory during a 5-day event. Basically, by day 5, the shelves were bare, and it was a few incredibly ugly pieces looping because we sold through everything. I won't say ugly, I'll say less than optimal. The conversion rate was 17%, which was way beyond what they had expected. The user engagement time, and I love this one, was 30 minutes. And this was not a fluke. We have demonstrated sale after sale after sale, our engagement times average 30 minutes or higher. People get stuck to this technology. It's great. It's one of the reasons that I switch away from showing you the store. We've learned in meetings that if we leave it up on a screen, we have to go like this to get people's attention because they're just watching the prices go. And people will just have it running on their screen for a whole event, and it's great how attached to it they get. So the engagement has been huge. And they reactivated 24% of their dormant customer list, which they were also really excited about because they literally had been able to re-engage 0% of them up till then. So, what is next for Til You Shop? I'm happy to say we are already in the pilot and integration planning with 3 Fortune 500 retailers. These are all really gigantic companies who are really excited about what we do, and I can't say much more than that about it, but maybe by demo day next year. We'll have a lot to crow about. But they are really excited, and it all has to do with the profit margins and the engagement. I'll also say we're about to do some sales with an international retailer. We weren't specifically looking for international partners in this, but the word spread about what we were accomplishing, and we've been contacted from all around the world. The one that's mentioned on this slide here is actually a South African company, a multi-billion-dollar company in South Africa that we're going to be starting live sales with in the next couple weeks. So we weren't set out to do this internationally originally, but when they approached us, we were ready to jump at the opportunity. And our store, as a result, now works in rands as well as dollars, which, of course, was my job to figure out. All right, so the last opportunity I want to talk about, there have been a lot of comparisons made between us and eBay, and there's definitely always been this feeling of we're eBay sort of on steroids. It's very fast-paced, but very engaging, and similar kind of mindset for the shoppers. Well, eBay found out about us and invited us to be part of their Friends of eBay program, which gets you all kinds of resources, and it's been a really cool thing for us. And specifically for us because there's so much that we do that's in common with them. So for us, being in the Friends of eBay program, which we've now been in for a little while, is a strategic partnership. We're working on things together with them that we had always dreamed of doing down the road, but now it's actually already happening. We've already integrated, another long sleepless night for me, eBay's API, so that we can actually pull products from eBay's API, and we already have some pretty tight technology links with them, even from day one of being in this program. The other thing that's pretty cool is we now also have an office in eBay headquarters. So we have 2 offices in New York now. We have our main office in Times Square, where we've been for a couple years. And now we have an office at eBay headquarters in Chelsea, in Manhattan. So it's great. You can meet us in either one of our New York offices. So that's basically the story of where Til You Shop is now. And I feel like my DreamIt mentors would be disappointed in me if I didn't address the $800 gorilla in the room, which is investment. And we've raised funds several times with Til You Shop over the years. Shortly after our demo day, we were raising at demo day, and shortly after demo day, we closed on our first round. And that held us for a while, and then we've closed additional funding since then. We're not specifically, we don't specifically have a round open right now, but we are always looking for the right strategic investors and partners for what we do. One of the reasons we've made such great progress is we've been fortunate enough to be able to be selective about who invests with us and who work with us, and we make sure it's always a good strategic bond between us. So we're always on the lookout for great tech talent, which I would feel bad if I didn't mention at a gathering like this. We're always looking for great tech talent, and we are always looking to meet with the right strategic investors who feel like this might be a good fit for them and would want to talk to us. All 4 of my, or the 4 founders are all here, and you'll be able to find us afterwards. We don't specifically have a table, but we'll be gathered together. And I'll give you one last piece of advice that DreamIt taught us early on, and actually it was on our very first kickoff day. They said, when you ask for money, you're going to get advice, and when you ask for advice, you'll get money. So I'm not here to ask for money. But if afterwards you feel the need to take out your checkbook and write out some big fat advice for us, we'd be happy to listen to what you have to say. Thank you very much.